Hello and welcome back. Today I have something nice and it came in my mailbox last week. So I was surprised, and it is from Retevis or Retevis, and it's a ham radio. It's a little portable one and we're just gonna have a closer look. I already have my spectrum analyzer heating and the Marconi also is going there. So later we're gonna do some technical testing also. And yeah, if you look at the documentation that comes with it, it has all the CE, and there are some more that is good for Europe as well. So let's have a closer look. So, okay, nice box, branding. Comes with the manual in English. Okay, cool. Okay, nicely done. Oh, it looks like a nice radio. Look at that. Okay, comes with an antenna. Just screw it on. It looks like sort of SMA. Let's get that on. It even comes with a charging bay, USB cable and a belt clip. Okay, I'm not going to use the belt clip. The battery is already here. Now it releases very smooth. And transmitting, it does 144 up to 146, like the normal ham frequencies, 430 to 440. Oh, I like the battery is that smooth, because I remember with those bow things it was a big fight. Okay, cool. It has some plugs. Ah, cool. It just has a USB-C. No weird plugs to charge it. And this is great for Europe, because in July all the new equipment that comes in that needs to be chargeable through the USB-C or USB 3. It's this connector, so they already comply. So you can charge it directly, or you can also do it in the bay. Same story here, USB 3 or USB-C, and click it in the bay, and you just put this in your universal charger. But Retevis was sweet to me, and they even provided me with the USB. That usually doesn't come in the box. So I did charge it already. So let's have a closer look and switch it on. Okay, well, I'm just gonna switch it on.
Welcome.
Frequency
mode.
It even talks. And let me just switch from A to B. And
1, 2, 3.
Okay, that is nice, but maybe we switch it off.
9.
Oh, she doesn't want to.
Not cancel.
Let's menu. Walk down. It makes a lot of noises. A lot of options. But let's first try to put the voice off. Okay. Beep off. Okay. I'm not even thinking, by the way, I'm just using the menu, so it does work very nicely. Oh, perfect, no noise. Let's have a closer look at the specifications first. Even though it can only transmit 430 to 440 and 144 to 146, I think you can still receive from 139 up to a lot. Let me see. Ooh, sub audio. It is packed with digital squells, sub audio squells. Oh yeah, here. Receiving can be wider. Well, I don't see it here, but I think we can just try that. because I think it is possible. So if I do 139 probably, it will receive. Yes. It just will receive on those lower frequencies, but you cannot transmit. And I'm very lucky here that everyone has a solar panel, so I do receive some noise. And I don't know how low the other one goes. Yeah, let's try 410. Yeah, so it does receive there, but you cannot transmit. While if I go to 430, I can also transmit, because then I'm in the ham band. Probably you can maybe even change that by programming, but by default it stays nicely in the ham bands. I have a lot of distortion here. And I think there was another nice gimmick, and that was just the FM radio. If I push along, here I have FM radio. Can it scan? It doesn't scan on the radio frequencies. I think we have something here, 105.
Van de Bintanks deze week de parel van Hans Visser.
Okay. Oh, and then when it receives something, it immediately goes back. Yeah, cool. Oh, and then it receives something and it goes back to receiving. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, I thought this is a big manual for something that kind of works exactly how you expect it to work. But of course, if you want to do the digital squelch or the sub audio, analog and the digital sub audio, you might want to read better into it, or if you want to use the scan function. But it just says on the button scan, so if you push one of the numbers, oh, it's the star. If you push long on the star, it just starts scanning, and if you use the up arrow, it goes up. You use the down arrow, it goes down. And I think it has about 200 memories. You can scan over those. And this is the RA685. I didn't mention that before. So it's the 685, and it is actually the improved version if you are already familiar with Retevis. And you have the RA85, and you had in mind, oh yeah, you know what would be great if I scan over my memory channels, and there is one channel that I want to skip. I think in the past it was not possible, but with this one it is. You can put, like with your old Bearcat scanners, you can put a lockout on one of your scanning, and it will just skip it instead of waiting every round. So they improved a lot of things in the software. German, Italian, Spanish probably, maybe French. I'm skipping through very fast. I wanted to see the power. Oh yeah, it's 5 watts on high, on mid it's 3, and it is on low power it's 1 watts. And then you think, yeah, why you need all these settings? Well, of course, the more power you use, you will go a little bit farther, but it saves you a lot on the battery. So if it's not necessary, you just go to a lower, and you preserve your battery. Yeah, I went very fast through the options, but I said you can do your scan. So if I push the scan button, it scans up, but I receive too much noise. Okay, now it's scanning, looking for the next solar panel. Yeah. And you have here the button AB, of course, to go from your A and your B. It doesn't necessarily mean it is always one is 70 centimeters, the other is 2 meters, or the other way around. It just can receive 2 channels, 2 frequencies or 2 VFOs, and they can be both in the lower band also. But it is not like a real dual bander, because it is dual standby. So that means the reception is not exactly at the same time. So if you have the camwood I have here, it can actually receive two at the same time, and you will hear both at the same time. But here it's a little bit like a scanner. The one that is first, that wins. So you can only hear one of the frequencies, but when one stops, you can monitor again both. But if I go from frequency mode to memory mode, now if you push scan, it will start to scan over the memory channels. And as you can see, there are high and low channels both. So I like you, if you want to monitor two frequencies on the 2 meters or 2 on 30, that is no problem. And you just go back to frequency mode again after you stop scanning. You go back to frequency mode, and then you can just type. I think it's very user friendly. So I'm already a little bit impressed, I must say, because all the buttons, I remember when I was playing with my first Boofing, I really thought, my God, what button I need to push now. And here it just, I didn't even read. You saw, I just push and it just worked exactly as I expected. We're going to have a deeper look because I want to see how is the spectrum. So we test on the spectrum analyzer, the sensitivity for receiving and the power output. I want to check on the Marconi, so we're going to have a look. If you already think, well, for 50, I think around 50 euros, that is not bad. I have a link of this item directly to the Retevis store, and even with the discount voucher. So I hope to position it that you can see both screens. I start first with power. We can zoom in on that. I will replace the antenna. Let's see. Yeah, I have here this BNC2. Well, whatever it is they have, this one fits. Let's get it on there. Go to TX mode. Okay, I will just be in the middle of both bands, so 145 and 435. So let's try 2 meters first. Well, transmit. Let me zoom into the screen. And well, the frequency is, I would say, spot on. I'm running on external reference, and if you see, the power is even a little bit more, 5.4 watts. So they do deliver what they promise. Let me switch over to the other band. And here also 5.0, exactly 5 watts. And as you see, the frequency is spot on. Very, very nicely done. How about the receiving? I think they said it was 0.3 microvolts. So let's try that. Too lazy to type, so I will just use the RxTX generator level. I prefer microvolts, and let's turn it on. No, nope, that was very high. So they say 0.3. Oh, the squelch is also very nice. Well, they do indeed. Can do that. Perfect. Let's see the other bands. AB, transmit. Yeah, same. No problem with sensitivity. So I switched off the Marconi. It is hot in here because it's summertime, but I want to play with the spectrum analyzer. This one doesn't make too much heat. Of course, I cannot put 5 watts immediately in my spectrum analyzer. So in one of my other videos, I built this RF top or RF sampler way you want to call it. One is variable, but I like the fixed one. It does minus 40 dB, so that would be enough. I think I can even put 100 watt in it. I use the fixed resistor because it is almost flat. We checked that in the spectrum analyzer in one of my videos also. I will switch it over to the internal dummy load, and in the RF top connection I will put. Okay, let me see how that worked again. Well, RF in, that is clear, so I can put a radio on the RF in. Then I have spectrum analyzer out, variable or fixed 40 dB. Okay, then I have here 50 ohms or RF out. So when I put the RF out, I need to put my own dummy load here. But let's put it to the internal dummy load. Frequency counter out is just a little metal little antenna, so I'm not using that. So I will use the spectrum analyzer out here, and then we should be fine. You see, one here in the 40 dB to the 50 ohms. I should be good and not blow up the spectrum analyzer. Okay, let's try. I'm in the 2 meters, 145. Yes, I do see a little peak. I don't see any alarms. So I'll just use the auto mode, auto tune it. Okay, it found it. Okay, then let's put measure mode. Let's put a nice spectrum monitor. We have our little waterfall. Let's do a little bit more span. Here we see a little bit, but not too much. Let's get the harmonic list. Do we have any harmonics? 145. It is minus 5 dB. Okay, then a reference to that one. So the first harmonics we see is minus 55. I can store this one moment. So we see we have minus 55, minus 50, minus 60, minus 50. So I would say that is enough suppression, at least on the 2 meters. Let's see in 70 centimeters. Okay, 70 centimeters. Let's do the same. Harmonics. How is that in the suppression? Well, we have less harmonics because this spectrum analyzer only goes to 2 gigahertz. So we have one here, minus 70. Look at that, minus 80, minus 70. That is not bad at all. So that was not bad at all. I think the suppression was pretty good with around minus 60, minus 55. So not bad at all. But that's not it. Now, a radio is about more than the radio itself. So we have a look at a website. What accessories you can buy. For instance, the programming cable. Does it need special software, or can we just program it with CHIRP, I think it's called. So we have a look. Other extra accessories, big antenna you can just put on top for in the field if you are difficult to reach places, and you can just of course screw that on, and then your reception of course is increased. So very nice. All these little things, so accessories are available, and they don't charge you much for it also, because if the radio is around 50 and then you think, oh, maybe they make the money on the accessories, but this programming cable was below $10. So I think they do that very nicely, because sometimes I think that they do that, they sell a cheap radio, and then all the accessories, they just charge you crazy. This seems very fair. Let's have a look at the website. Okay, we are here in the website. Well, just retevis.com. And oh, they even have a Father's Day special up to 62 off. Okay, well, we have here an analog radio, amateur, so we go there. And we have this one. Look at this, now it's even $35. And here you have the old model. You see they are pretty similar, but I have this kit here now. If we click on the device, we have here a little overview. What it all can do. We have the specifications and features. Well, as you can see, it can do a lot. I'm not going to do one by one. And here we go to the support, and what we can find there, we can find the brochure, we can find the software and the driver, even for Windows 11 already. We have the manual, so the EU manual, so it has probably French, German, Italian, well, we saw that it has. And we have even the EU declaration. Okay, the software. Let's see what the software is. Okay, no complaints there. The Windows 11 driver. Oh, it's bigger than the software. Okay, well, let's see how that works. In my downloads, it is a standard PL driver. Okay, the Profilic, it's famous serial, USB to serial. Okay, well, if it is, I will just extract that here, that is okay. Let's also extract the other software already. Okay. Yeah, driver. If it is an older driver, it will probably skip it. So let's get the cable. I don't know if it needs to be connected to the radio or not, but let me just try that. Okay. Okay, you did that. Finish. Then, because I'm a little bit of a control person, I'd like to see what it is going to do. So, device manager, I could open ports, and then when I connect it, it should start to install things. And here it already did. It's COM16, so I hope it goes that high. Okay, remember COM16. If not, we just change the number later. And there was another program that was something like check chip version. It doesn't go up to 16. Still, I like to see what it is. Just because I like to know. You don't need to do this, but I just like to do this. To my ports, I just changed the port number because once maybe, yeah. In use. That's why it thinks it's all in use. I connected so many devices on it. I still pick the hour. Okay, it's now 15. Check. Okay, apparently it is the 1303. Okay, so it is talking. That is good. What does the software look like? run the setup. Oh yeah, put it on my desktop, why not? Okay, that was fast. Does it select automatically the correct port, or I need to select somewhere the port? Settings, port 15. Oh, it already detected it was 15. Well, what is usually smart to do is first to read. Okay, the radio is blinking. Okay, here we have our frequency list. So, oh, that looks very nice. So we can just add. Now, if we want to add the channel, I was fighting a little bit because this is not immediately clear, because here you have this pull down, but if you click here it doesn't happen. But if you just start typing, then it suddenly understands, and then you have this pull down, but you cannot do anything with it. You have your receive frequency, transmit frequency, power, wideband, narrowband. You can do Roger, peeps, and even a busy lockout. So if you have the busy, then you cannot transmit when it is receiving, just to make sure that you don't try to transmit over someone else. I can even put repeater shifts in there, and we have optional features: timeout, transmit timeout, squelch levels. It even has Fox, backlight. This is how strong the backlight is. Oh no, that's switching off. The channel name. Oh, this is also cool. Not many of these radios have that you can make a selection between the channel and the channel name. So if you but you cannot put a name, or yes you can. So if you type the name, that is really convenient, because on other radios they sometimes use a trick that they just program the channel twice, once in a name and once in a channel, and then you put both on the same number, and then you can see on one the name and in the other the channel. But here it just automatically does it already. Okay, and it can make SOS noises. The weather thing, the NOAA, I'm not really sure about what that does. You can do weather receptions, but I didn't see anything. So well, this looks all very simple, and then you just write it back into the radio. I will put it in the screen. Here it goes. Success. Very famous among programming all this Chinese radio is this program CHIRP. It seems like an open source project, and I think it was compatible, so that makes it even an installer. Oh, it is still. Look at this, it's a few days ago. They are working on this daily. That is cool. Well, I have a virus scanner, so I'm not too much worried. Okay, that was fast. Okay, that was fast. Let's just open CHIRP. Okay, somewhere we need to set a port, I would think. Open stock config. No, I don't want a config. Radio, download from radio. Maybe it will ask a channel then. Ah, here it is. 15. That was indeed correct. Look at this program. This is cool. Are we in here? Yes, Retevis is in here. Cool. Okay. Cloning, downloading. It is blinking, so it is talking. This seems very powerful. So it is compatible, so that is also very important, because people are constantly working on this software. So And if you can see here, they even have frequency lists and all kinds of stuff that you can automatically load into it. And this makes programming so much more easy. But the other program also didn't look bad, but it is just nice to have one program to program all your radios. And we can send it back, of course, to the radio as well. So that was my quick test. Retevis, thank you for sending it. I really enjoyed playing with the radio, because even the menu, and I didn't read anything in the manual, it just works as it should be. And even installing in the software, it was just smooth. The driver installed immediately. And maybe it was also because I had the original Retevis cable instead of some fake one. But it all just worked immediately, and the spectrum looked really clean also. So well done. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.